Welcome. So if you're starting a business in Illinois and you're not sure where to begin legally, this video is for you. Maybe you've been running your business informally and you know it's now time to make it official. You want to go from side hustle to official. Maybe you just had your first client and realize you don't have anything in writing to protect your interests, or maybe you're about to launch and you want to do it right from day one without paying a $500 an hour attorney to get there. Whatever brought you here, I'm glad you found this resource. My name is Joerika. I'm a licensed attorney and certified mediator. I'm also the owner of Joerika, Stitt, Esquire, LLC. And I created My Illinois Court Navigator, a statewide legal resource hub that empowers pro se litigants and small business owners throughout the entire state of Illinois. And today we have 3 live navigators I'm very proud of. My Family Court Navigator for uncontested divorce, my Prenuptial Agreement Navigator, and my Small Business Navigator, which is the focus of today's video. And so today I'm breaking down exactly what a proper legal foundation looks like for an Illinois small business and how you can get attorney-guided protection without the traditional price tag that sometimes excludes certain business owners from access to qualified, experienced business counsel. And so My Small Business Navigator, you don't get the confusion, the mystery, just a clear look at your path forward. And so here's the truth about business formation in Illinois that most founders don't know. Forming an LLC in Illinois with the Illinois Secretary of State, it costs $150 in filing fees. That's it. $150 is the government's cut. Everything else you pay goes to whoever is helping you do it. The problem with DIY formation sites is not the price. The problem is what you don't get, right? You get a file entity, but you don't get an operating agreement that actually protects your interests. You don't get guidance on your BOI reporting requirements. You don't get a client agreement that holds up when someone decides not to pay you. And you absolutely don't get an attorney who's reviewed your specific situation. And that gap between a file LLC and a legally protected business is where most founders are living right now, right? And it's that gap, exactly that gap, that My Small Business Navigator was built to close. And so I want to walk you through what a proper legal foundation actually looks like. And there are 5 layers every Illinois small business needs. We're not doing anything with the site yet, but this is the My Small Business Navigator page. And so layer 1 is your entity. In Illinois, most small business owners should be operating as an LLC. The LLC separates your personal assets from your business liabilities. And so if your business gets sued, your personal bank account, your car, your home are not on the table. Without that separation, as a sole proprietor, everything you own is exposed, right? And so layer 2 is your operating agreement. And this is the internal governing document of your LLC. This operating agreement defines who owns what, how decisions are made, what happens if an owner decides to leave, and how profits and losses are distributed. And so Illinois doesn't require you to file your operating agreement with the state, but you absolutely need one. Most founders who can't access qualified, experienced legal counsel, they don't have operating agreements. We'll get into the issues with that later. So without an operating agreement, you're operating a business with no rule book. That's dangerous. Layer 3 is your EIN, your employer identification number. This is your business's federal tax identification number, and you need it to open a business bank account, pay contractors, and file business taxes. And so applying for an EIN is free. It takes about 10 minutes at irs.gov, but many founders skip it entirely, or they don't realize they need it until they're sitting in the bank trying to open an account. Another dangerous thing that I see with small business owners in Illinois is commingling business funds with personal accounts. So if a client is paying you for something, they're putting it in their personal account. So just a lot of headaches moving forward. Layer 4 is your foundational client document, a client services agreement. And you need this if you provide services to your clients, or an independent contractor agreement if you're hiring someone to work for your business. This is the document that defines the relationship, sets payment terms, outlines scope of work, and protects you when someone says they never agreed to something. And so layer 5 is your BO report, and BOI stands for Beneficial Ownership Information. And so under the Corporate Transparency Act, most small business entities are required to file a report with the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network disclosing information about the people who own or control the business. Failure to file can result in significant civil and criminal penalties. And most of my clients have never heard of this before they sat down with me. And so that is why I created my Small Business Navigator. It's an access to justice tool for small business owners in the state of Illinois. And so I can tell you, all 5 mistakes I've seen Illinois founders make, and often. One mistake is forming an LLC without an operating agreement. Filing your articles of organization creates your entity. It doesn't create your operating agreement. These are 2 separate things, and you need both. Mistake 2, using a personal bank account for business transactions. The moment you mix personal and business funds, you begin to erode the corporate veil, that legal separation between you and your business, right? That's one of your most important protections as a small business owner. And so open a bank account as soon as your EIN is issued. That way you're not mingling personal and business finances. Mistake 3, misclassifying workers. And so if you have people doing work for your business and you're calling them independent contractors but treating them like employees, setting their hours, controlling their methods, providing their equipment, you may have a misclassification problem. And Illinois takes this seriously. Mistake 4, no written client agreement. Verbal agreements are notoriously difficult to enforce. I don't care how well you know the client, get it in writing every single time. Mistake 5, ignoring BOI reporting. I mentioned it above and I'm saying it again because the penalties are that serious and the awareness is that low. And so I know that was a significant amount of information, and I know some of you are thinking, okay, I clearly need all of this, but I still can't afford a $500 an hour attorney. Again, this is why I built My Small Business Navigator. And so this is our webpage. All Navigator options are fixed fee, attorney guided business formation and legal protection services built specifically for Illinois founders. And we'll go through the website. You can visit the website, click buttons. If you're ready to get started, click here. If you're not sure yet, click there. No email required. You're going to get a guide that's going to walk you through My Small Business Navigator. After that guide, you should be able to know where to go from there. You can watch our video. It's really good information. I'm going to get back to the reviews, but our mission. So, excuse me. So when you read our mission statement, you see that I have a special commitment to women and minority-owned businesses. And this is because these businesses have historically been underserved or priced out of quality legal help. you know, it's the reality of the situation. And so my family, my small business navigator, it actually levels the playing field for any business owner in the state of Illinois who wants to do it right and actually have access to an attorney, a licensed, experienced attorney, right, to start or scale your business. We're leveling the playing field here. And so I want to, before I go any further, I want to get into Nadia is a small business owner. I represented her. Review was really long. I wasn't able to include it all, but she says Attorney Stitt has provided outstanding advice and representation on several legal matters for me: estate planning, real estate contracts, and an EOC matter. And what I value most is her ability to listen attentively and create solutions that directly address the core of the issue. You might be saying, what does estate planning have to do with being a small business owner? A lot. When you start acquiring assets, you want to make sure, you know, when your time to transition comes, that you have a plan in place for the things that you worked hard for to go to the people or organizations that you want them to go to. You want to keep your assets out of probate court, right? You want to keep the government out of your business. Estate planning is vital. And because I've represented small business owners and folks navigating divorce, that's where most of my estate planning clients come from, because they realize this is a big change. This is a big change. This is really changing things for me, and I need to have a plan in place so that my legacy looks like and goes to who I want it to and how I want it to look. And so, all very important things. Maurice is another business owner, and his review was actually long. You can check these reviews out. Their Google reviews, and I think also Avo. But Attorney Stitt provided exceptional legal counsel to Thomas Investment Group, offering expertise in employment law, contract law, and compliance. She played a vital role in navigating legal challenges, ensuring regulatory compliance, and protecting our interests, especially in matters involving entities like the EEOC. I really appreciate these clients who took the time to go and write these reviews, because this is social proof of how I approach my work with small business owners. And so going down, this is how it works. You choose your navigator, and you're going to select the stage that matches where your business is right now. Again, if you're not sure, go get this guide. It'll help you. This video should also help you to understand. 2, submit your intake form. And from there, you're going to complete your engagement agreement and pay your flat fee. 3rd, we're going to schedule, you'll get a link. After you submit your intake form, you're going to get a private link to sign up for your vision meeting. I love vision meetings. My clients are so brilliant and creative and have all of these wonderful ideas, and they're coming to me sharing what they're passionate about and the purpose of their business and all of this good stuff, and I help them to protect all of that. Intellectual property through agreements, proper formation, whatever you need. I love being a part of that, helping your vision come to life. And so that's the process. You have these, if you're ready to get started, we have these business buttons throughout, but you basically submit this intake form, and that's how we get started. That's when you're going to get the link to the vision meeting, and we go from there. I become your attorney, and we go from there. And so now, before we get to the tiers, I want to talk about limited scope. So oftentimes people, when they contact me, they say I was very hesitant because I just know I can't afford an attorney, but this is a good idea, and you know, I need some help. I can't really afford your outside general counsel fee, that subscription fee that you offer. I really can't afford that, but I need help with X, Y, and Z. Visit our website, Limited Scope Legal Services. Scroll down to Small Business. If you need a letter of intent, here's the fixed fee for that. If you need me to draft or review a contract, we have fixed fees for that. If you need me to draft or review an employee handbook, we have fixed fees for that. I can help you on a limited scope basis if you can't afford a navigator or outside general counsel services. You have options with Joerika, Stitt, Esquire, LLC, and with My Small Business Navigator being one of the options, right? I created this tool for you. I understand what it means to be a business owner. I also understand the challenges that women and minorities face when starting businesses. It was challenging for me to start my law firm. Now, by the grace of God, my firm is doing exceptionally well, but I had to start somewhere, and I uniquely understand those challenges of being a woman-owned business or a Black-owned business, and I'm here to support you through your journey, right? And so let's talk about the navigators. You have the launch package, the operate package, and the legacy package. And so I'm not going to read this word for word because it's all here. The guide that you download is all there. The video up top that I encourage you to watch is all there. But the launch package is basically for that founder who's ready to launch, right? You're ready to go from side hustle to making it official. Everything that you need is going to be delivered to you within 5 to 7 business days of your vision meeting with me or an attorney with my firm. And so that is $1,500. The operate package is for that business owner. You're already in business, you're operating, but you're legally exposed. That could mean different things for you. I don't know what your legal exposure is, but you recognize I'm legally exposed. This is a package for you. This is real value at a price that is transparent and you understand the scope of what you're going to get. I encourage you to learn more. Now we're going to talk about the legacy package. This is for that business that is scaling. This starts $5,000, and when you see starts at, that means that I am throughout the intake process learning your needs, and depending on complexity, that is going to get you the final fixed fee, but it's all fixed fee. And I'm also willing to work with you because I know there was a situation where the complexity was real and the fixed fee ended up being for an operate package like $4,800, and they said, I know there's a need, but I think I can do this contract myself because it's simple, it's basic, I'm comfortable doing that, but I need you for this because I need your legal expertise there. So we were able to kind of go back and forth and limit the scope to what the client needed, and we got the operate package down to $38,500, which was within this small business owner's budget, right? So I'll work with you. We will identify what you need me, an experienced attorney, to handle, and what you want to kind of chip off because you need to stay within a certain budget. Now, the legacy package is for that business that is operating. They've launched, they're operating, and they are scaling and scaling fast. Now, you might think this is for the business that launched a year or 5 years ago. Not necessarily true. What I am learning from the small businesses that I have represented is if you have a unique idea that solves a problem for people, might not be all people, for a specific targeted group of people, you can start that business and take off fast and do well fast. I've seen it. I've seen small businesses within 3 months of formation, they're at 250,000 plus, and they're scaling, and they're like, okay, I need something different. That is a legacy package. For a business at this stage, I would also share with you more about outside general counsel, which is a service that I offer, that my firm, Joerika, Stitt, Esquire, LLC, offers, outside general counsel, for ongoing compliance and legal support. And so I don't want to read list during this video, but you can look at everything that comes with these and see there is value. Okay. And so Every package includes a direct access to me or an attorney with my firm, licensed, experienced counsel, not a paralegal, not a template generator, a real Illinois attorney who has studied your situation and is accountable to you from start to finish. And so, in closing, My Small Business Navigator was built for the founder who is done waiting and is ready to build. The link is in the description below. Subscribe to this channel for more episodes on business law or the legal resources that you need. And understand that you don't have to build your business on a shaky foundation. If you found yourself priced out of being able to access quality legal help, this is a potential solution for you. Let's go back. My Small Business Navigator, we're here to support you at whatever stage your business is in. Thank you so much for your time, and I really look forward to meeting you at your vision meeting, learning more about your small business and your needs so that I can help you to scale, and reach that mark that you've set for yourself.